Today, I'm going to be taking on MLB Imperialism, but this won't be like other videos you've seen because we'll be starting with 90 teams, as I've included every AAA and AA team in the game on this map. And with this wheel picking what team we'll be playing each time, the very first wheel spin is going to end on a minor league team with the Frisco Rough Riders. Now, for who they'll be playing, I'll spin this wheel, and it looks like they're going to be taking on their MLB counterpart with the Texas Rangers. So if Frisco can win in a 3-inning game, they'll already have some of the largest territory in this video. While the Rangers would be unlucky with some perfect outs, they would be able to easily take down their own AA team still and claim that territory for their own. And this video won't be ending until there is just one team left. Since we still have a long way to go, let's quickly find out what team will be next, as it's landing on another minor league team this time, the Chattanooga Lookouts, who are surrounded by other minor league teams. So it looks like they're going to be taking on the Nashville Sounds. And Nashville would be the first example of a minor league team having a great pitcher, as MLB players on the injured list are sent to the AAA teams in MLB The Show, which is going to make this video interesting. But with Woodruff out of the game, the Sounds would give up this home run and Chattanooga would win. With this next spin, we'll be landing on the first MLB team to be attacking this video with the Boston Red Sox, and they'll be headed north to take on the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Now, if you saw my 64-team March Madness video, you'll know that it's not a guarantee that the MLB teams beat the minor league teams in this video. But with these early runs driven in from the Red Sox, that would be all they needed to win this one, and they'll start to take over the Northeast, which has a ton of teams to go through. Believe it or not, even with over 80 teams that we could choose from, the Red Sox are going to be attacking again, and they'll be taking on the Yard Goats, who easily one of the best minor league team names. So I'm going to be honest, I kind of hope they win, but they wouldn't, as the Red Sox would only need one run and would take home the victory easily. Now for this next game, we won't be with the Red Sox. We're going to land on the Mariners and head out west, and they are going to be attacking south, which would put them against the A's or the Giants. With the Giants being a little more west, that is who I'm going to have them play. And I may need to apologize to Mariners fans for not letting them play the A's, as this 3-run home run from the Giants would be enough to secure the win, as San Francisco would take a big chunk of land in that Pacific Northwest. Our next spin would have the Reno Aces attacking their Nevada neighbor in the Aviators. With Zach Gallen on the IL when this game happened, he would be on the mound for Reno and would pitch well enough to take home a 1-0 victory for the Aces. And what is the next team going to be? It looks like we'll be staying on the West Coast again, this time with the Sacramento River Cats, and they'll be headed east to take on the Oakland A's, who have proven to be a really good opponent in the past. But with Blake Snell on the mound for the River Cats, he would make easy work of the A's, and the River Cats would be in position for the first big upset of this video, if you can call the A's losing to a minor league team an upset, as Casey Schmidt would walk this game off, sending the A's home, as now the Giants and the Giants AAA team have already won games. Next up is going to be the Somerset Patriots, and I'm honestly not sure if I've ever even heard of this team. And with them attacking the Orioles, this is going to be a tough game to win, as personally, I actually think the Orioles are probably one of the favorites to win this entire challenge with all the talent they have. But with this solo home run by Somerset, they would actually go on to win 1-0, and by far the biggest upset of the video. And if we're already getting upsets like this, I can only imagine what's still to come. Back on the East Coast, it was time for the Charlotte Knights to head even more east and take on the Durham Bulls. With the Bulls being the AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays, it would not be an easy matchup, and the Bulls would eventually walk this game off, defending their land and taking over the rest of North Carolina. Although there were tons of teams we still haven't seen, it looks like Blake Snell and the River Cats are going to be back attacking again. We're already getting repeat teams. I don't know how this is happening, but the River Cats this time are going to be taking on the Dodgers. And with Snell once again pitching a great game, this home run in the top of the 3rd inning would be enough to give the River Cats the win. Although it was early, they were beginning to look like the team to beat. Okay, will this next game feature another repeat team? No. Okay, it's not going to. We have the Omaha Stormchasers, and they are going to be attacking the West, which is going to put them up against the Iowa Cubs. And this game would go into extra innings, but the Stormchasers would secure the win, and with it, the state of Iowa. Okay, the next team up is going to be the Pirates. Okay, and they are going to be headed east, which means they're going to be taking on their own AA team, which does have Paul Skeens on the mound, but he isn't that high overall. Unsurprisingly, though, Skeens would dominate, but after being pulled, Jack Sawinski would instantly crush this 2-run home run, and the Altoona Curve would lose to their parent club, while the Pirates started to take over a very contested Pennsylvania. Next up, the Mississippi Braves would take on the Arkansas Travelers, who would put up 2 runs in the first and easily finish out with the win. And once again, we're going to keep going back to them until they lose or win the whole map, as the River Cats are back up, this time taking on the Angels with a ton of land on the line, but down a run in the top of the 3rd inning with the tying run on base. This strikeout would end the River Cats run, and suddenly the Angels had taken over almost all of the West Coast. The next game would feature 2 minor league teams in the Midwest, as the Dodgers AAA affiliate OKC would take on the Sod Poodles. And even though OKC would have the benefit of having Clayton Kershaw on the mound, it wouldn't be enough to win, as the Sod Poodles would defend their home turf and walk off OKC in the 4th inning, winning this game 3-1. All right, next team that's going to be attacking is going to be the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and they're going to be attacking West, looking to take out the Arkansas Travelers. And this would be a marathon of a game, as neither team was willing to score, but finally, in the top of the 6th, the Trash Pandas would drive in a run, but with 2 runners on in the bottom of the 6th, the Travelers would have a chance to walk it off, but while down to the last strike, they would ground out and the Trash Pandas would take this win. With so much of the East Coast still contested, I'm hoping we can start having some battles over there, and we will with this next game, as the Yankees are going to be going out and taking on the Somerset Patriots. Now, the Yankees would only manage to score 1 run, but thankfully for them, Clay Holmes wouldn't blow this game, as the Patriots tried to bunt with 2 outs, and that resulted in a routine putout to give the Yankees the win. And for the next battle, the Midland Rockhounds are going to be attacking the Texas Rangers. Texas is easily one of the most competitive areas in this Imperialism, as both the Rangers and the Astros do well in these sims. So if one of them gets eliminated early, I'm not sure what will happen, but for now, the Rangers do manage to defend their territory, as Eovaldi threw a complete game shutout, and the Rangers would begin to try to take over Texas. And it looks like we'll be staying in Texas for this next game, as we have the Sugarland Skeeters, who will be headed south to take on the Astros. But Sugarland does have Justin Verlander on the mound, so I'm not sure how this game is going to go. And JB would be able to keep the Astros scoreless for a while, but eventually in the 5th inning, they would be able to walk this game off. The eventual Astros versus Rangers battle for Texas was 1 step closer. The next game would go as expected, as Milwaukee would defend their stadium against the Tigers thanks to a barrage of home runs. And the next team up is going to be the Jumbo Shrimp. And since they're attacking south, they'll actually be taking on their parent club with the Marlins, but they would come out swinging, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning, and they would get to have Sandy Alcantara on the mound, which would be more than enough for them to secure the upset in this game. Next up, the Barons would walk off Biloxi to start taking land in the heart of SEC country. And the D-backs would take over the entire state of Utah by taking down the Salt Lake Bees, while Milwaukee, whose big offense led them to the win over the Tigers just a few games ago, would score a single run in extra innings, as they would be walked off by the St. Paul Saints. The upsets are not disappointing so far. Now it's time to figure out who the next team is gonna be, and it looks like we're finally getting some more attacking up north, with the Blue Jays attacking south and facing Rochester, which, after this grand slam from Kevin Biggio, they would stand no chance, and the Jays would easily win this game. And it's looking like we're going to have the Rainiers up next, which they're going to be headed east, which is a big deal, as taking on the Twins, there is a ton of open land between the 2 teams. So the winner is going to take over pretty much all of that area, but neither team's offense had any desire to show up today, as this would be scoreless through 5 innings. But the Rainiers would score 2 in the top of the 5th, and Royce Lewis would be unable to come through in the clutch this time, as the Twins would be unable to defend their own land, losing to the Rainiers with back-to-back massive upsets. The next handful of games would go super quickly, as the Durham Bulls would take down the Norfolk Tide. The Cardinals would need 6 innings, but would beat the White Sox. The Bay Sox would upset the Washington Nationals. The Isotopes defeated the El Paso Chihuahuas, and the Rockies would take over a ton of land by beating the Wichita Wind Surge. As our Imperialism map through 31 games looked like this, we still clearly have a long way to go. Now let's see which team is next. Okay, we're gonna be headed back northeast, thankfully, with the Pirates. There are still so many teams alive out there, and attacking south, they're going to be taking on Richmond in this game. And for some reason, even though they had the infield playing in, Richmond would decide to turn this double play instead of getting the out at home, letting the Pirates score as they would go on to lose 1-0. Next up, it's looking like it's going to be the Reds, and they're going to try to take land in Pennsylvania by taking on the Seawolves. But after taking an early lead, the Reds bullpen would blow the lead in the bottom of the second, as the Seawolves would eventually walk this game off, taking over Northeast Ohio, which honestly kind of makes the Seawolves losers of this game. Maybe the Reds lost on purpose to get out of their land. For this next game, it's looking like we're going to have the Bowie Bay Sox, and they'll be attacking north, which is going to put them up against the Yankees. So they'll be trying to make their parent club, the Orioles, proud by beating the Yankees. And the Bay Sox have a ton of young prospects, so it's very possible they win this game, but they wouldn't be able to score on the Yankees, and Giancarlo Stanton would eventually walk them off. The next game up would feature a huge battle for the Midwest, as the Omaha Stormchasers are going to be attacking the Colorado Rockies. With the winner taking over the heart of the country, we'd have a pitching duel for the first 3.5 innings, but the Rockies would take advantage of being the home team and walk off the Stormchasers to win the game. The Akron Ducks are going to be the next team here, and heading east, they'll be taking on the Pirates. We've already seen an Ohio team intentionally lose to get out of the state, and this is another chance for that to happen. And the Ducks were definitely trying to lose this game after not scoring with a runner on second in the 4th inning. The Pirates also wouldn't score with a runner on second in the 4th, so the Ducks would finally drive in a run in the top of the 5th. And after striking out not once, not twice, but 3 times with a runner on second in the bottom of the 5th, the Pirates would be deservingly eliminated. Ohio teams trying to lose would continue in the next game, as the Cleveland Guardians would play the team of their old namesake and get walked off. I'm not sure what's going on in that state, but it's clearly nothing good. And the next game would be the worst yet, as neither team wanted to win, but finally, 8 innings later, the Fightin' Phils would beat Lehigh. It was such a bad performance that I actually marked the wrong team as the winner on this map, but don't worry, I'll go back and fix it later. Okay, let's find out who the next team is going to be. Hopefully it's a better game than that last one. And we're going to have the Red Sox minor league team, and they're going to attack and take on the actual Red Sox, already playing in their 3rd game, with the actual Red Sox quickly dominating and taking home the win. Next up, we will be going back to Ohio, and as soon as the Seawolves got land there, they were ready to give it away, with the Rail Riders and Garrett Cole taking home the win and taking on the curse of having land in Ohio. It's looking like we're going to have another minor league team attacking, and honestly, there's been some upsets, but they haven't done as good as I thought they would so far. But a lot of that does come from having to play other minor league teams, as the Redbirds are going to travel south to take on the Trash Pandas, who I honestly would like to see win the whole thing. If the Yard Goats are out, let me have the Trash Pandas win it all. But the Trash Pandas aren't going to get that chance, as the early run from Memphis would be enough to win, as the Redbirds were starting to claim a lot of land. Now, there would be at least one team in Ohio willing to win, as the Indianapolis Indians, after beating the Guardians, they would be the next team up and attack the St. Paul Saints to the north. And with the win, they would have some of the most land of any team still left, but there's still a long way to go. Well, Columbus is the next team up. At this point, we can't escape Ohio games. However, they are going to be attacking Toledo, so it's going to stay in the state. But the Mud Hens would hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the second to secure the win in this game, and then turn around and push out the Rail Riders, who had been pushing into their land, giving them control of almost all of Ohio. Next, we're going to be back out west, as the Fightin' Walter Whites, aka the Albuquerque Isotopes, would be unable to defeat the Diamondbacks. Okay, back to the wheel. Who will be the next team up in this challenge? It's going to be the Blue Jays, and they're going to be attacking east. So for the first time in a while, it feels like we're going to have 2 MLB teams squaring off, and the Jays would absolutely destroy the Red Sox, with the Bats giving them a 4-0 lead in the top of the second. The Red Sox would just miss this home run in their half of the inning, killing their comeback and eliminating them from the competition. The Indianapolis Indians would be back winning again in this next game, which shouldn't surprise anyone at this point, as they now have the most land of any of the remaining teams. And even after that game, we are just barely over halfway through with this challenge. I still have no idea who's gonna win. Y'all comment down below who y'all think is gonna win of all the teams left. It looks like we're gonna get our first look at the Round Rock Express in this next game, and they have a secret weapon in Jacob deGrom, who is on the IL for the Rangers, meaning he's in their rotation. And although the Express would give up the lead as soon as deGrom was out of the game, they would be able to still go on and capture the win. The battle for the Midwest would be next, with the Rockies and Royals facing off, and with this home run by Bobby Witt Jr., the Royals would secure the win. The next two games would feature some minor league matchups, as the Montgomery Biscuits would take down the Blue Wahoos, and the Rubber Ducks would put an end to the Toledo Mud Hens run. And after having just beat the Rockies to take over the heart of the country, the Royals would give it all up, losing to the Sod Poodles of all teams. Even though we are 52 games in, we are still getting some teams playing for the first time, as the Syracuse Mets are going to be taking on the Rubber Ducks. And the result of this game should not surprise anyone at this point, as the Ducks take over more land in Ohio and then instantly give it up. I feel like it's only a matter of time until the Indianapolis Indians lose at this point as well. Shane McClanahan and the Durham Bulls would be back up next, and even though it would take extra innings, they would be able to secure the win in this one. Let's see which team is going to be attacking next, and it's going to be the Padres, who I'm pretty sure haven't played in a game yet this video. And attacking east, they have a good chance to show up and instantly take over lots of land. But Gallen would somehow be back on the D-backs now after pitching for their minor league team earlier, and he would throw a complete game shutout and give the D-backs even more land. The Rangers would be back attacking next, as they would take down the Memphis Redbirds thanks to this massive double. And in upset fashion, the Buffalo Bison would surprisingly take down the Blue Jays, before Texas would be back playing again, this time defending their territory against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, who the Rangers would be able to walk off, giving them commanding control of the South, towering over their little brother, the Astros in Houston. Well, speaking of the Astros, we have the Rangers back up on the wheel spin, and they are going to be attacking South and taking on the Houston Astros. This is the matchup that we've been waiting for. Wow, Framber starting out with a strikeout. That is not what the Rangers are looking for here. And with a lefty up, I mean, that's going to be huge for going against Seager. But he's just going to mess with that curveball. Can Seager come through? No, Seager is going to pop up. The Rangers are going to have their first two outs of the game. Are they going to have a 1-2-3 inning? I mean, if Framber goes 1-2-3 inning and barely any pitches to start this game, that is huge for the Astros. All right, 2-2 pitch. Just Framber, put him away. 14th pitch of the inning. He's not had to work too much. He will. Of course, Adolis strikes out. Now, the Astros aren't usually good at home in big games, so I think that helps out the Rangers a ton here. And wow, Altuve just looked at 96 down the middle of the plate. All right, 0-2 on Altuve. Does Eovaldi match what Framber did with a 1-2-3 first inning? This feels like a massive game for who's going to end up winning this all. Although he's worked it back 2-2. A bit of a scary place to have Altuve. 2-2, the leadoff hitter. And he strikes him out. Eovaldi, cook it, Altuve. Okay, 2-2 to Alvarez. Can Eovaldi work a clean first inning, get on to the second? Wow, what is Jordan swinging at? That was such a bad pitch. Nathaniel Lowe, he absolutely destroyed that ball. All right, rate 444. 113 off the bat. That is not realistic. He cannot hit it like that, but the Rangers have a lead. Eovaldi looked great in the first inning. Let's see if they can hold on to it. All right, 2-1 for the Rangers top three. Can they get an insurance run against Montero here? Not if Simeon's taking pitches down the middle of the plate, that's for sure. Wow, he dotted him. That is a huge out from Montero. Now, though, Seager up. I mean, the Rangers still have a great chance to drive in runs, but a ground ball, and it's on to the bottom of the third inning. Wow, Seager strikes out 2. Is Montero going to find a way out of this? Adolis up? I feel like he's going to. Wow. After letting two on, he strikes out the side. Now, the Astros haven't gotten a hit, though. So, I mean, they're going to have to find a way to do that and score. But if they would have given us some more runs there, that would have been real tough. Oh, wow. A base hit by Jake Myers. Okay. Winning run up at the plate for the Astros. They finally get a base hit. And, of course, it's Altuve coming up as well. Ground ball will end it. A home run will also end it. First pitch. Oh, my goodness. He destroys it. The Astros walk off the Rangers. I'm going to be completely biased. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. After that massive game, the Syracuse Mets would hold off the Fighting Phils on their attack, and we will be headed out west for this next game as the Angels are going to be attacking the D-backs, with the winner probably having the second most land in the game. And just like how the D-backs didn't show up in the 2023 World Series, they wouldn't show up here, going hitless against the Angels and losing this game. And to clean up some more of the West Coast, the Angels would also attack and defeat the Reno Aces right after. Well, it doesn't look like the Angels are done yet. Winning 2 games in a row, they are going to go for the three-peat here. And there it is, attacking north and taking on the Indians. Whoever wins this will easily have the most land of any team left. And the loss that we knew was coming for the Indians would happen, as they were unable to score a run against the Angels, as Detmers would throw a complete game, giving the Angels so much land. It's time to tackle more of the Northeast, which still has a ton of teams remaining. So I'm glad the Syracuse Mets are going to be attacking in this one, and they would be dealing with Senga on the bump. But as soon as Senga is pulled from the game, Volpe would hit a home run and the Yankees would go on to win. And now the Express are possibly going to have a chance to avenge the Rangers for losing to the Astros, who they will be taking on in this next game. With DeGrom on the bump, anything was possible. And by anything, of course, that would mean Altuve hitting a home run off of DeGrom to give the Astros an early lead. The Express would hit a 2-run home run off Hader, though, as this game really had it all. Altuve terrorizing the Rangers and Hader giving up home runs, but the Astros would still pull through with the win in this game, as they might be my new favorite to win it all right now. The Durham Bulls are going to be the next team up, and headed north, they are going to try and attack Ohio, which all but assures they will win this game, and they would. Taking home a 1-0 win thanks to Shane McClanahan dealing on the mound. The Rays would take down the Jumbo Shrimp after, and now the next team to attack is going to be the Barons, and they're going to be attacking the Astros. I'm going to be completely biased here. I hope the Barons can take home the win here, but my hopes are not high. However, my wish would come true as Bregman would fly out into left field. The Barons would secure the win, eliminating the Astros from this Imperialism challenge. The next few games would all go by quickly, as the Braves would finally get a chance to play, taking down the Rays, and then they turn around and attack the Stripers, taking their land as well, while St. Louis would defeat the Louisville Bats. Which is when on this next spin, the Phillies would finally get their chance to play in this challenge, and they would be headed east to take on the Yankees. Although they lost earlier, a small group of Yankees fans lived on, as they would return to the map just in time to take on the Phillies. But with the home run from Trey Turner in the top of the first, it was looking like the Yankees' return would be short-lived until Juan Soto would hit this walk-off, and the Yankees were back in contention to win the whole thing. We are starting to get down to the end now, and next is going to be Buffalo again. They've already won a few games and have looked pretty good so far. And attacking north, it's time for the Sea Dogs to stop hiding in Maine and defend their land, which they would be unable to do after Buffalo cruises to an early win. Finally, the San Antonio Missions are going to get a chance to play. And being surrounded by the Barons, that means that is the only team that they can play. And a win will instantly give them a ton of land, but that win won't come, and the Barons will continue taking over the South. Definitely not the team I expected to be controlling. After that game, Springfield would take care of Tulsa. The Barons would keep winning by taking down Chattanooga, And the Rumble Ponies would finally play a game and promptly lose to Buffalo, who had continued to win during this challenge. Every game is huge right now, so the next team attacking is going to be the Cardinals, and they're going to be headed west to take on their own farm team. And even though it would take 4 innings, they would win. And with Amarillo next, who has some of the most land, this next game is going to be huge, with the Sod Poodles taking on the Angels. The winner of this game is going to have control over half the map, and it would go into extra innings with the Sod Poodles taking a lead in the top of the 4th, but the Angels would be able to answer and walk this game off to expand their already massive land mass. The Barons would just keep their winning ways going by taking down the Bulls, and it was beginning to feel like we could be headed to an Angels versus Barons matchup for the USA, especially after the Angels win their next game on another walk-off, beating the Cubs, who were playing for the very first time, even though we are 81 games in. Finally, though, the Barons would go down, losing 1-0 to the Montgomery Biscuits. And all it takes is one game for the map to look completely different. Okay, next team up is going to be Buffalo again. They've been winning a ton, so going up against the Yankees or the Mets here will be interesting. And they're going to be taking on the Mets. Finally, 83 games in. I'm not sure how the Mets haven't played yet. And I guess all that time off would work for the Mets, as they were well rested and were able to take down the Bison. Then just as quickly as the Biscuits would gain all their land, they would lose it to the Braves, as Acuna would crush a home run and the Biscuits wouldn't be able to mount enough of a comeback in the bottom of the 3rd. And every minor league team would now be eliminated, which honestly surprised me. I expected at least one minor league team to make the Final 4, but that wouldn't be happening. All right, Angels are going to be attacking next, so of course it is going to be a big game, and they're going to go out west to take on the Giants. And oh no, Rendon makes an error, which is going to give the Giants a lead, scoring first in this game, and that Rendon error would eventually lead to them getting the win. It was only a matter of time till that happened to the Angels, if we're going to be honest. Atlanta is going to be our next team, and they'll take on the Giants. Winning easily thanks to this leadoff home run. It's starting to feel like the Braves have shown up late and are going to take over the entire map, which is going to have a chance to continue as the Braves are going to attack and take on the Yankees in this next game. And I'm hoping the Braves win, because the Yankees don't deserve to be on the map still. All right, here we are. Braves and Yankees. Strider on the bump. DJ LeMahieu leading off. And wow, he actually gets a single. DJ LeMahieu, not a good baseball player, but in a huge moment for the Yankees, comes up with a single to lead off the game. Let's see if the Yankees can take advantage of that. Judge up the middle. Back-to-back singles. It's going to be first and second, right? Yeah. First and second. Back-to-back singles for the Yankees. Oh, no. Is this going to be the most Mickey Mouse imperialism of all time? Wow, Soto pops up. They're swinging at the first pitch every time. I guess Strider's just throwing them down the middle of the plate, but an absolutely massive pop-up from Soto when it matters the most. And now Stan's going to have to come through. He's come through before for the Yankees. Can he do it now? Wow. Stanton is going to pop up too. Yeah, he will make the play. Strider is going to somehow have like a 10-pitch inning where he gives up 2 singles and gets 3 outs. Doesn't make any sense unless Rizzo can come through. 2-strike count. He'll foul it off. Stays alive. The Yankees need a big hit here. Rizzo into a gap. He will come through. Soto and Stanton pop up, but Rizzo's coming through. Is it scoring 2? I don't think it is. Judge first to home on a ball in the gap. Wow. Oh my goodness. Glaber comes through as well, but it isn't gonna score. Rizzo is too slow. 3 runs in a 3-inning game is huge. 2 runs is obviously big, but it's an amount where you can still come back from. Can Verdugo come through though? Not taking 98 down the pipe. You won't. And okay, Verdugo is going to get out, so it's just 2 runs, but 2 runs is still a lot. Now the Braves would tie it up, but Arcia would strike out to keep it tied, headed into the 3rd. And it's through the hole as well. Yankees, man, they have been crushing the ball this game. Honestly, they should probably have more than 2 runs right now. Wow, the Braves are going to get out of it again, and now they just need a run to finally send the Yankees home for good this time. Riley, it's down. Are they going to send Acuna from second? They got to be, right? Easily does it. Braves walk it off, and the Yankees Mickey Mouse run is over. Okay, Atlanta again. They are going after St. Louis now. Can the wins keep rolling for Atlanta? Wow, we are going to have a scoreless first inning. I was not expecting that to happen at all. Are we finally going to have a hit? Top second, Michael Harris. He's going to come through. That is going to be an easy double. Can the Braves turn it into runs, though? That's all that matters. Wow, he's going to get thrown out stealing third. Why would you try to steal third there? You're on second. You're scoring on a hit anyways. Well, another scoreless inning. I have a bad feeling we're in for another marathon game where nobody wants to score the entire time. Are the Braves going to score a run from first? No way. No way they're going. Oh, wow. He's not even going to get the third. Okay, first and second, though. Nobody out. A hard line drive, but it's right at the center fielder. Cardinals are going to have a beautiful chance to walk this off and be in position to win the whole thing, but they don't even have to hit this game yet. Well, speaking of, there it is. First pitch, bottom three, they get a base hit. Here we go. Oh, no. Is that a double play? No, he's not even. I feel like Ozzy could have tagged the dude going to second. Maybe you don't get a double play, but now you have a base runner at second with one out. Can Mason Wynn come through? Strider's still in the game. He's pitched great so far. It's up the middle. It's through. They're for sure sending it. Harris with the throw. It's not in time. Cardinals walk it off. And wow, did they just take a ton of land. I thought the Braves honestly had this whole map locked up. And now there were just two. The Cardinals versus the Mets, who had only played one game in this entire video for all of the USA. Not quite the matchup I expected, and neither of these teams have won too many games to get here, but it's all about staying alive. Let's see who wins it all. Wow, the Cardinals are starting off with that hit. Is that a double too? No, it is just a single, but man, what a cheeky hit to start off. Jose Quintana looks pissed. Oh, Goldie! The bloop single followed by the no doubter. Cardinals strike first with a huge chance to win the game now. I mean, 3 in the game, 2 runs is massive. Wow, the Mets are having throwing errors too. This is falling apart. First and second, just 1 out still. Gordon Walker into a gap. Is it more than that? It is a 3-run home run. The Cardinals are up 5-0 in the first inning. I cannot believe what is happening right now. And those 5 runs would be more than enough for the Cardinals to take home the win. And with it, the 90-team USA Imperialism victory.